Welcome to Esoteric Ramblings. I'm Jesse Arnold, and today is Comic Haul Rundown 2021, Week 19, Wednesday, May 12th. Hello, and welcome to Esoteric Ramblings. If this is your first time watching, or if you've been here a lot of times, welcome to the channel. Thanks for watching. My name is Jesse Arnold, and I'm a huge geek. I love reading comic books, watching movies, collecting figures, and all sorts of other things associated to all the different stories, genres, worlds that I'm into. And this is Comic Rundown, where I go through my pull list of comics each week and kind of just go through some quick thoughts on them, ending in a favorite cover of the week and a top 3 for the week. I also do reviews of current shows as they're coming out. Currently Bad Batch is in the works. I've got a whole review to WandaVision, Falcon and Winter Soldier, if you look down in the videos. Occasionally I'll do movies. When I get the time to do a whole movie review, I might do a quick batch of movies. Quick thoughts coming up. There's a few that I've seen recently that I have not commented on yet. And recently I joined my friend Sean and a new friend Matt on their Legends of Grayskull podcast, which is all about He-Man and Masters of the Universe. But the podcast they invited me onto was, they call it Off-World, where they go off-topic from He-Man stuff and talk about lots of different things. So if you want to see my thoughts and a couple other guys' thoughts on the Zack Snyder Justice League, I'll have a link down in the description for this video, and I'll be making a playlist every time I join them for one of those Off-World discussions. So they do have a YouTube channel where you can watch it, and they also have a podcast wherever you get your podcasts. So that said, thanks for coming in. If you are new and you haven't done it yet, or if you've been watching and you haven't done it yet, please hit the subscribe button if you want to see more of my stuff. I usually do the comic hauls every Wednesday or Thursday. Shows are usually on Fridays, and I try to get some other stuff in there when I can. So enough about that, and let's just jump into the haul. So first up, a new number one this week is X-Corp number 1. And Corp, I'm not sure. It feels corporate. I'm not sure. This was not one I was exceptionally looking forward to, just because of the business aspect of it. And so far, I'm going to be completely honest. I couldn't finish reading it. I just didn't have the interest to finish it at this point. So my opinion on it is not fully formed. There's just a lot of business jargon, and this is a part of the X books that I am not really enjoying in general at the moment. So this one was a hard sell, and I mean, the art is great, and I'm not saying that the writing is bad. It's just not a story for me. So I'll go back and finish rereading this one at some point, and I might give it another issue or two to see if I like it, but I can't see myself following this one much longer. Up next in the Heroes Reborn, since that event crossover is going on right now, is Heroes Reborn number 2. We get to check out a little bit more of what Hyperion's life has been like in this alternate reality where the Avengers never formed, Cap was never found in the ice, and currently Blade is the only person who remembers the real world of Marvel as we know it. So yeah, this was a great follow-up issue. I feel like it had kind of like 2 parts, if I remember correctly. Or was there just a backup story in the end? I'm not sure. It felt complete and whole, but it's definitely cool. If you checked out number 1, you definitely want to pick up number 2. If you missed out on number 1, check with your local shop. They may be able to get one in for you or have a second print coming if they're doing that. I'm not 100% sure if there's second prints on this yet. Continuing on in the Heroes Reborn series is Hyperion and the Imperial Guard number 1. This is cool because this does some payoff to things that happen in the Heroes Reborn issue. So it gives you a little more backstory on Hyperion and his association with the Imperial Guard from the Shi'ar Empire. And some other characters as well. So yeah, check that out. If you like this alternate reality world, I didn't say that during Heroes Reborn, because I'm assuming you remember it from last week if you even watched last week's. So Heroes Reborn is an alternate reality where, like I said, Cap was never found, but there's also different now because of these different things not happening in this world. Other characters have become different versions of themselves. So it's always fun to see kind of what ifs of different things. So that is a kind of a what. This whole story is kind of a what if. And next up, in that same vein, and also continuing the Heroes Reborn storyline, is Peter Parker, the Amazing Shutterbug. Again, this picks up with some details from the Heroes Reborn 2, and focuses all about Peter and his life in this world where he did not become the Amazing Spider-Man. Another X book that I am starting to lose my attention span for is Children of the Atom. It's kind of cool to see these different characters who are trying to mimic other mutants' abilities. Again, with the whole world dynamic that the mutants are in right now, I'm not really enjoying all of that, and this series is really emphasizing that. Now, I think the writing is very good, and I think the artwork is absolutely gorgeous in this book. It's just not... the storyline itself in general is just not holding my attention. So I'll give it another issue or two to see if we finish out this arc to make a decision. But that one's probably going to get dropped soon as well, unless I get super impressed by it. Just because there's so much to read and so much to do, and I don't want to keep buying stuff if I'm not super into it. Maybe I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, if you're reading either of those titles, X-Corp or Children of the Atom, and I missed something, or I need to go back and give it another chance, let me know. I'd love to hear your opinion. Up next, again, I did not get to read all of this because it is so dense, it is so packed full of stuff, and I want to give it the time and appreciation it deserves, so I will circle back and try to read the rest of it. But I did enjoy the few stories I read. It is DC's Festival of Heroes, the Asian superhero celebration. This was really cool. I heard about this a couple months ago, and it's another one of DC's like huge 100-page anthologies where it's just jam-packed full of short stories from different creators, kind of like Marvel's been doing with their Marvel Voices series. And it's a lot of fun. It's really good, and I highly recommend reading it. My favorite one so far is the Dustin Nguyen story with, was it Cass Kane and, I don't remember who came and talked to her. I can't find it. But there's a Dustin Nguyen story in here. I absolutely love his artwork. Full of great writers and artists in this book. So, sorry, I'm covering up Katana down there. All done by Asian artists and writers for the Asian superheroes of the DC world. So yeah, definitely check this out. It is a big book. Lots of great stuff in it. And like I said, I will definitely go back and read it, the rest of it, and probably report a little more on it with next week's haul. Up next is Star Wars issue 13. It is the Star Wars title, prelude to the War of the Bounty Hunters, the next big Star Wars crossover. They haven't done one of these in a while. So we're now finding out that Chewbacca has heard rumors of Boba Fett being on, is it Narshada? And, talks Luke into going to see if they can get some more information to try to find Han Solo. Since this is still, post Empire Strikes Back, before Return of the Jedi, we're working towards the plan they eventually developed to get him back from Jabba the Hutt. So it's cool seeing this play out in a different way. And I know a lot of people love Shadows of the Empire. I remember reading that book when I was in middle school, or whenever that came out, maybe high school, and trying to play the game, and it just didn't quite impress me as much as it did a lot of other people. So I'm really enjoying this take on that time period. All right, we're winding down to the last couple here. Up next is Wonder Woman 772, continuing her journey into the realms of the different gods. So she's still in the Viking Norse mythology worlds here, and she's fighting an alternate version of herself on the cover, it appears. But yeah, this is a fun issue. Doesn't quite wrap up the storyline yet, but it's still cool to see where she's going with this, and some of the characters that make some surprise appearances. So yeah, Wonder Woman 772 still dealing with Diana traipsing through the afterlives and different realms after sacrificing herself to save the world in the events of Dark Knight's death metal. Up next is X Factor number 9, and I do believe the end of this issue does say that X Factor is concluding next issue, or maybe it's the storyline is concluding next issue. I'm not entirely sure, but the storyline will at least wrap up in the next issue as we dive further into the Morrigan and Mojo verse. This issue, I'll admit, I got a little confused. I don't know if I missed something. I'll probably need to go back and reread it as to how the Morrigan and Mojo verse stuff crossed over. But yeah, this has been a fun read. I really enjoyed the X Factor so far, and of all the X books, it's one of the few that I actually have been enjoying, because I don't know a lot of these characters really well, so it's been fun getting to know them and see more of their personalities and such. And drum roll, no drum roll. I don't want to do drum roll. My cover pick for the week is Fantastic Four, issue 32 by Mark Brooks. It's just this gorgeous cover. I don't know if the camera's going to pick that up nice enough. There's a bit of a glare. But this is a gorgeous cover featuring Johnny Storm and Skye, or is it clearly she's a Skrull here, but just really capturing the beautiful details of Skye's wings and Doom looming over them in the background with the Bride of Doom title up there, part 1. This was a really fun issue. I'm really enjoying this series. Johnny and Skye accompany Ben and Alicia and their new adopted kids from the Kree-Skrull Alliance as they go to a museum exhibit of Latverian artifacts and some of Alicia's work. And Victorious is there, and a fight breaks out as these villains attack. Is a really fun issue, and it sets up this whole Bride of Doom storyline really well. We did get a little twist. I won't spoil what it is, but it was very disappointing. We'll see how it plays out. I'm not making any judgments, but when I read it, I was just like, oh. So, well, actually, there's at least 2 of those, but they were connected, so there's that. All right. Now, on to my top 3. Number 3 for the week is Star Wars High Republic number 5, with beautiful cover art by Phil Noto, featuring Keeve Tennis and Skier. Skier? I don't know. This has been really cool. This was a great issue where you see the Jedi facing off against a new threat to the galaxy. It's almost kind of a hive mind plant life. What do they call it? The Drengir's control. The Drengir are these kind of. It's like a weird. For lack of a better explanation, imagine Venom meets Alien like the Xenomorphs as plants, kind of a thing. So yeah, it's pretty cool because you don't have the Sith necessarily right away in this series to jump off of. And I already talked about it, but it's my number 2 for the week. Fantastic Four number 32. I gave you my lowdown on it a minute ago, so just kind of rewind to my cover description. I didn't really plan that out properly, but yeah, Fantastic Four 32 is my number 2 pick for the week. This was a really great issue. Dan Slott has been really nailing it with the story. Fantastic Four is a team I have really always wanted to get into, and every time I tried, I couldn't quite get into the story until this, so I've been really enjoying this series a lot. And it's been a nice book to fall back on since the X-Men have not been delivering what I hoped the X-Men would over the last couple years. So Fantastic Four is one of my new great favorite Marvel books every month. And number one for the week in the countdown for week 19 of the comics is the giant-size Amazing Spider-Man King's Ransom one-shot that wraps up this King's Ransom storyline from Nick Spencer and crew. This is an epic giant-sized issue where we get to go through the rest of the storyline with Boomerang and Fisk and everything that's been going on with the Lifeline tablets, or whatever they're called, to get them to Kingpin. So this is it took a twist I was not expecting, and it was disappointing in some points, but at the same time it was well told and good storytelling. So bravo to the team for this story. After that whole Kindred storyline, this was a lot of fun, and it has been playing with a lot of things that have been building in Amazing Spider-Man over the last couple of years in this series. So I'm excited to see where Spider-Man goes next with his story and all of that. So, all right, that is the end of Comic Rundown 2021, Week 19. I will be back Friday morning with the next episode of The Bad Batch, and hopefully some other stuff in the meantime. Like I said before, check out my friends' Legends of Grayskull podcast if you're into He-Man and Master of the Universe stuff, or at least jump over and check out our Off-World as we talked about Zack Snyder's Justice League. Like I said, I'll have the link down in the description for this video. So thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Have a great day, great week. And as always, feel free to interact in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts on things. And have a great day. Ramble on.